Yep, I'm back at it again. This is Brandon Wynn, and this channel is Critical Failure. Don't know why I said it that way, but this video is going to be a video on the Halflings, and this next video, right after this, is going to be my current grievances with what's happening with my DMs Guild things that I've been trying to post. So I originally recorded this as both of them being the same thing, and I would feel bad as like making it saying in the title about Halflings and then like partial rant. So this is just going to be straight up Halflings. Next one's going to be the rant slash update. So let's get right into the news. So the Halfling. So straight off the bat, this is just going to be standard stuff for the everything, like every race, every sub race I should say. They get a dexterity modifier of +2, so they get that automatically. Well, I should say they get a dexterity buff of +2. They have a speed of 25, and their size is small. They get the lucky feat, to where whenever you roll a natural 1 on an attack, ability check, or a save, you can re-roll and you take that new number. That's really useful in many situations. I was going to do something really stupid there on purpose, like essentially miss a straw and be like, see, I could have luckied that, and then took an actual sip. Totally perfect thing to do for that, but I didn't want to be stupid. Don't know what I'm telling you either, but that's an example. Now I wish I didn't roll a natural 1 on that. So another feature that you get is Brave. Essentially, you get advantage on saves against being frightened. Really cool, because a halfling going against a dragon that's intimidating as hell, just wow. Because I know for a fact there's a lot of classes out there that don't give you immune to frighten or resistance to frighten, which essentially this is. Or yeah, that's how I would say it. It's like, it's pretty brutal. It's like everyone's gone and you're just like a lone halfling, like, I'll take you on. It's like, that's just really cool to me. You get halfling nimbleness, which you can move through spaces of a creature bigger than you. So pretty much, I imagine this is like if you're fighting a bear or anything taller than you, you could just run between their legs, or you just dart under them and stuff like that. It's like, it's really cool. I just really like that idea of you running underneath something and just gutting it with your short sword, and as you're running under it, it's just a really cool idea. And instead of having to like go around something, which will cost you like 10 movement because it's like diagonally moving, so it's like 20 technically, you just go straight through doing 10. That's how I see it anyways. And I'm sorry for like just taking these sips. It's just, I'm really thirsty for some reason. But for the sub races, these do little justice to me for just how little they get as their their additional modifier or additional bonus to their stats. But for my homebrew, I'm just gonna add more to it. So let's get right into it. The Lightfoot. You get a dex of +2 and a charisma of +1. Now, just because of the name and how it says it in Mordenkainen's, I would say that they would get a +3 of dex and a +1 of charisma instead. So it's just the only difference is that they get an added 1 to their dex, and they get the feature naturally stealthy. You can attempt to hide even when obscured by a creature only 1 size smaller than you, or up to 1 size, not up, excuse me, keep hiccuping. So essentially, you can, even if it's 1 size like bigger than you, but I think I was saying smaller, but if it's 1 size bigger than you or more, you can try and hide behind it, is what I'm saying, because I was reading that really wrong. And I think that's really cool. What I would probably do is also that, like, if you're behind like a specific cover, you would have advantage on stealth or something like that, or if you're in someone's shadow, you would advantage on stealth, which essentially is like, that's essentially what that is. But I would have it where you have advantage on it. And the next subrace, yeah, is Stout. Do you think dwarves can get any shorter? That's basically what this is. Very short dwarf. And here's why. You get a dex of +2 and a con of +1. I would change that to a dex of +2 and a con of +2. And you get stout resilience. What is that? Essentially, you get advantage on saves against being poisoned, and you get poison resistance, laddie. Now what does that fucking sound like? Tell me, does that sound like dwarven resilience to you? Because let me tell you, I guarantee you, if I turn one page, and if it says that, dwarven resilience, you have an advantage on saves against being poisoned and poison resistance. Look at that. It's literally copy-pasted. It just seems like it's lack of trying. And that's what it seems to me. And it's not anything bad. It's just, I'd give it more. I would give it to where you have proficiency in saves for Constitution. So, like, your Constitution saves, you have proficiency in it. So you'd have that bubbled in. You know? Make it better than just, oh, I can drink poison and not die. Doesn't sound that cool to me. Like, at all. It's like, okay, you're a knockoff dwarf. Or a midget dwarf at that. But, yeah. It's a really cool race. Like in Mordenkainen's, they're essentially more to themselves in terms of, like, they're not outward expanding. They're like usually around other humanoid villages and stuff like that as workers and stuff like that. They're loved in the community, but they're not really noticed except for what they have done already, not for them as a person. To what I've like read anyways. They're really appreciated, and they're more of like close-knit family rather than like, how do I explain it? It's like outward expanding as an empire. They're just more like caring about themselves rather than everyone else, and that's more like, it's not that they don't care, it's more like they just don't see an use of making an empire when someone else can defend them for their own territory. So it's like they live near other humanoids because they know other humanoids will defend them for them, which kind of makes no sense for what they have as a race. But I think that, or I know that in my campaign they're going to be kind of different. They're going to grow out of that in my campaign right off the bat, and they're going to have an empire of their own at some point. And I'm not going to say anything about the government of my campaign because it's going to be a little bit of spoilers, but they're gonna matter in my campaign. Like every race is going to matter that I include. So these little guys are going to be getting a lot of spotlight. Every race will be at some point. And I really like this race. I just don't like their height. That's my only issue. But they seem to be really cool. I might try and make a sub race for these guys because they only have 2, and that I can see from the player's handbook and any other handbook I've seen, except sub race handbook. I don't think I saw that on there. I'm not sure. I'm too tired to check right now. If it is, I'll make another video for it. So yeah, I really like it. So far this race seems really cool. So I think this is going to be the end of the video, so please like and subscribe, comment what you guys want to see us to do down in the doobly-doo. Go like and follow our stuff on critical.failure on Instagram, and there is a post there that I have. It's a picture of Baphomet, not the D&D photos either, it's a statue of it, at least I believe it's Baphomet. It's a picture of a scorpion and a picture of skeleton. If you guys can string those 3 together and figure out what I'm building as a homebrew creature, you get the possibility of naming it. I have a current name for it, which is just a placeholder, but if you guys actually figure it out and tell me what I am making, like you figure it out, and I like the name, or if I just select out of the names what I wanted to, like, just, I don't know, random number generator it, and I pick it, or it gets picked, you get a shout out when I for the on like YouTube and I'll announce who wins on YouTube and on Instagram and stuff like that, every social media that we have, and that person will be able to just first of all, they get the ability to name it, and I will try and get it to where they will be able to be in that episode of the campaign where that creature is introduced, which will probably be a while into the campaign because it's a very strong creature, first of all. But I want you guys to do that, which is really cool. I really like the idea because I had it in my last campaign. So please go do that. That's all I really have, I think. So again, the name's Brandon Wynn, and this is Critical Failure. See ya.